How would you like a 24-hour nosy cam watching what you eat, scratch or kiss? Channel 4 now examines the Big Brother phenomenon.
This man is one of the most famous people in Holland. He's Bart Springenveld, and he was a contestant on a reality TV show that took the Netherlands by storm. That show was Big Brother, and this is the Big Brother story. Bart was one of a group of 9 people who volunteered to live in a specially constructed house, rigged full of cameras. Their every move was broadcast to millions on Dutch television and simultaneously over the internet.
When you see the program, it's like a soap every day. You see the interactions between 10 human beings, like in a soap, only there's no script. Everything you see is real.
There were 24 cameras and 56 mics inside and out.
Through one-way mirrors from the center of the house, our cameras can see into the house, and the people, they see mirrors on their sides. So we can see literally every square inch of the house.
There was a bedroom for the men and one for the women. And even cameras in the shower and toilet. For 100 days and 100 nights, every word and every movement in this house would be recorded and watched by the nation. When it came to selecting people to live in this reality soap, over 3,000 applied. The chosen few were aged between 20 and 45 and covered a wide social mix.
I used to be a soldier in the army. I'd been in the army for almost 4 years.
I was a stylist at the photographer.
My age is 45. I have a daughter of 5 years old. I have a girlfriend.
I'm 40 years old. I'm a housewife. I'm a mother of 4 children. 2 weeks before the show started, Endemol called me and they said, well, you're in the show. And then I started to think, oh my God, what have I done? I must be crazy to go on television for 100 days without my family.
All of a sudden there was a film crew outside my house telling me they wanted me for Big Brother. I was like, whoa, that's nice.
It felt like an adventure, like you're going on a vacation.
It was for me very tough to go into the house and to leave my daughter crying there behind me. And I said to myself, oh, Ruud, you are a selfish pig, you know, and you only think about yourself. And I have underestimated that.
The Big Brother contestants in the house were at liberty to leave at any time, but at stake was a cash prize of over £70,000. The winner would be chosen by the viewers at the end of 100 days.
But when we stepped in the house, that was the first time we really met all together.
At first you think, oh, they're not my kind of people, oh.
It took about a week to get used to everybody.
The first night and the first day were, I think, the hardest. Because you have to make the decision, do I stay here or shall I leave?
People watching has always been intriguing, but for some it's a job.
The fact that people are on view all the time is a major factor in the interest of the program. As the audience, we have constant access to them, but it's a non-reciprocal arrangement because, of course, they can't see us. And this gives us a sense of power over them.
You hear the cameras buzzing around because they make quite a bit of noise.
The only way to avoid the cameras is lie in your bed and put the blankets over your head.
You never stop noticing them, but you kind of ignore them after a period of time. They move around from side to side and up and down, and these just turn around.
Then the cameras followed you, and then you say, oh yeah, I have a camera, you know, but after 4 days, I said to myself...
The idea behind Big Brother is the people in the house are living back to basics. There's no luxury in the house. There's no contact with the outside world, so no television, no telephone, no computers, no radio.
Hey, godverdomme!
One of the reasons why voyeurism is so appealing to us is that it, in a sense, reconstitutes a lost world. In a very primitive community, we tend to live in, in small societies, and we all know each other very well. In modern life, we don't have that anymore, and as a consequence, it's almost as though we hunger for it.
House parties provided hours of material of housemates at their best and their worst. Learning to walk a tightrope and juggle were just some of the tasks the Big Brother guests had to master. Every week they were set various tasks to test the group dynamics and reactions. Things like keeping a log fire going continuously for 7 days, which apparently appealed to the Dutch TV audience.
First week task we had, blowing up all those balloons. We blew up about 3,000. And that was fun to do. Fun to see them fly away as well.
Looking into people's ordinary lives, the chances are that they're not probably going to be doing anything very interesting. It's a bit like war, so large periods of boredom interspersed with small moments of excitement. And you keep on watching because you think that any second now something fabulous will happen. Whether it actually does or not is not guaranteed.
At one moment they sang a song. Ruud was the one with the guitar, and he was playing his guitar all day, and they sang a song. And then we thought, well, let's make a record out of it, just for fun.
Man, that's so bad.
I think the result is very good. Looking at that we can't sing at all.
The CD became platinum within the 2 weeks.
Sealed in their own little world, the Big Brother contestants were totally unaware of how they were becoming a national obsession.
You have no idea of what's going on outside. We were one day sitting together, and one was looking at the ceiling and the other one was rubbing their nose, and we were sitting there and we said to each other, we think nobody's watching this.
But they were watching, in their millions. Big Brother had become a nationwide phenomenon, causing TV schedules to change to meet the demands for Big Brother updates. The press became obsessed with everything that was happening in the house, and the Big Brother website received more than 53 million hits. Fans flocked to the house day and night.
I enjoyed watching it, and I watched it all the time. It was like real life.
It was totally different from the other television programs.
Why do people go to a zoo and watch monkeys, It's just watching people and observing them.
It's thought people became so hooked because Big Brother, unlike any other program before it, allowed the viewers control. It worked like this. At regular intervals, the people in the house privately nominated 2 of their fellow housemates for eviction. It was then down to the viewers to decide which one had to go. They did this by phoning the studio hotline or via the internet.
There's a kind of a puppeteer kind of aspect to this, being able to vote people in, being able to vote people out, just at the click of a button, as simple as that. It creates a huge sort of bit of a power kick.
And the Dutch viewers were ruthless, voting out anyone they didn't like.
Already in the first week, Bart and Sabine fancied each other.
Moet je hier ook nog zijn?
Nee, eigenlijk niet.
Nee, het is goed.
There was another guy, he was called Martin, he was also in the house, and he was very quiet the first few days.
Martin asked me to come out in the garden with him because he had to tell me something. So I was very curious, and I went with him in the garden, and then he said, Sabine, I have to tell you something.
And said, I think Bart is gay because he touched my feet.
And he told me that, and I only thought, oh, this is so funny. I thought of it as a joke, and maybe it is or it isn't. It didn't matter to me at that moment. It didn't matter if Bart was gay or not. The viewers thought that Martin was trying to, how do you call it in English? Get on to me or something?
He was voted out as first because the audience thought he is a traitor. So, well, we throw him out.
Martin's duplicity had lost him the nation's affections, And with him now out of the way, Bart and Sabine's romance blossomed.
After about 2 weeks, we kind of discovered each other, and we had a lot of support from each other. We figured you need somebody that you can tell things to, that you can do stuff with, somebody that makes you laugh, or somebody that feeds the chickens with you, stuff like that.
First we were friends, and it grew to something like love.
Their affair gripped the nation, with audiences soaring to a record high.
You saw that Bart really was in love and Sabine was just looking for some adventure. Later on, she was in love too, but she told in the garden at one moment, I think after 2 or 3 weeks, to another girl, oh well, it's just for the time being. And we saw Bart, who really was in love, so that was quite a shock for our audience. She's playing with him and he's really in love and she was playing.
For the time being.
From that moment, their days in the house were numbered. The rest of the group had had enough of the smooching and nominated them both for eviction.
Twee namen zijn Sabine en Karen.
Bart en Sabine.
Sabine en Bart. Sabine en Bart.
Sabine en Bart.
Is Bart.
This meant one of the loving duo would have to go, and the viewers would have the final say.
Is Sabine.
Nee. We were like, huh? You didn't say anything about it. You didn't say that you don't like that we are separated from the group sometimes and that we like each other. We didn't know. In the period from the point I was voted out till I was leaving, that days in between, I felt hurt by the rest of the group. And that was the hardest time in the house, I think. That's the hardest moment when you get nominated. Oh, it's awful. But it's a game.
Our audience knew that at the end of the week, our love couple, our Romeo and Juliet, would be separated. And that, of course, was a very, very exciting and promising thing.
Bart and Sabine made the most of their remaining time together, and 3 million people in Holland tuned in to see just how deep their love could go.
Yeah. There was so much talking about that thing, but we spent a night together in the same bed, and everybody is suggesting things, and it doesn't matter to me what people think because it's private. The camera didn't show it, so I don't have to tell what's happening when the camera doesn't show it.
Their bedroom antics turned them into the nation's favourites, but with both nominated for eviction, one of them had to go.
Sabine.
Oh.
Bart and me were totally different persons. Bart was more like a brave, sweet boy from 23 years old, so quite young. And I was more like, they call it, it's very, very rude word, but they call it a little bit of a bitchy girl. And I think when people have to choose between a nice boy or a bitchy girl, it's easy.
After Sabine had left, nothing can happen to me now. They're not gonna bully me anymore. They've done all they can, and they can't do anything more now.
But there was much more in store for both Bart and Sabine in the 65 days that remained of the Big Brother story. From the time Sabine left the house, her feet barely touched the ground. Far from feeling rejected, she was propelled to superstar status. Free from the house, she was in constant demand for photo shoots and chat shows A Playboy cover followed along with her own slot on national TV. Back in the Big Brother house, one by one, people continued to be evicted in what amounted to a national popularity contest. The Dutch may have been the first to experience the highs and lows of Big Brother, but a version of it's coming to Britain. In July this year, 10 people will enter a new Big Brother house in the UK, and the search now begins for people to take part.
I think people who are contemplating applying for this program need to know that people at home will be making decisions about them, having views about them. As human beings, we often make very, very superficial decisions. I hope people will sit at home and really question why it is they're voting for somebody. Is it because they have very admirable qualities, or are we voting for them because we fancy them?
There are certain characteristics that are essential for people who are taking part in Big Brother. First of all, they have to be able to get on with the job, as it were. They have to be conscientious. At the same time, they also have to be extremely agreeable. And finally, of course, it's also very important that they are emotionally stable, that they don't make other people's lives a misery.
We can learn a lot from the Dutch, but experts reckon the British version will offer a very different set of experiences.
In Holland, one of the interesting things is as you drive along the Dutch streets, you find that people don't have net curtains and they keep their lights on. And that's partly to do with that kind of Dutch feeling that, you know, nothing should be hidden. It should be out there in the open, that there is no point in having secrets. I think in Britain things will be rather different. I think we'll be much more secretive about these things than the Dutch are.
It's possible that we could get people who are very narcissistic, exhibitionistic personalities. You might get some very robust and plucky, adventurous, thrill-seeking personalities. I think it's going to be fascinating to see who actually puts in an application.
The idea that anybody can peer into somebody's bedroom, watch them get their kit off, it's a very attractive proposition to most people, especially the red-blooded males out there. Anybody who wants an insight into somebody's bedroom, this is for them.
The British are a much more, quote-unquote, masculine society, and the Dutch have a tendency towards, as it were, more feminine virtues. There is a strong possibility that you'll see much more ferocious competition, a lack of tolerance and patience with each other in the case of the British experiment.
More masculine we may be, but by day 86 of the Dutch show, there were 3 men, Bart, Ruud and Willem, and only 1 woman, Karen, left in the Big Brother house.
She was like the mother in the house. She cooked and she washed and she was the cleaning lady. I think she was a very strong woman.
As for Karen, she's a really nice lady. She's the one that kind of kept everybody together most of the time. Although I wasn't always agreeing with her, we still had a very nice time together here.
I got a little bit spoiled by the men. They brought me breakfast in bed sometimes, and they took care of me. Yeah.
Karen.
But Karen was really missing her family. So when she was evicted a few days before Christmas, it was a bittersweet experience. She was sad to be going, but happy to be reunited with her family. In the final week, there were only 3 men left in the house. Without any feminine influence, they quickly reverted to type, reading porn magazines and lounging around.
It's quite striking that the last 3 contestants who survived in the Dutch program were all men. And I do wonder if, again, quite outside of conscious awareness, we had some shared wish, or the Dutch people had some shared wish, to have the men fight it out, a kind of victory battle. A sort of sublimation for warfare, if you like. I mean, in informal warfare, we send all the men off to go and fight it out. And I wonder if what we would call in psychotherapy a phallic rivalry between these potent tigers got erected, literally.
The last week it was very tough. Everything was said, every book was read. We had done everything, you know, and we was just sitting, waiting for the end.
vele varia.
In that final week, the viewers were asked to vote for which one of the three men they wanted to win the coveted £70,000 cash prize.
Well, the general idea after about 2 weeks was that Ruud would win. We thought, hey, this race is run. We don't have to do anything more about it. We'll just stay here and let him win the thing. And just the last 3 hours of the last night, when we were told that we would leave that same evening, then the competition started to kick in again.
I went into the house, and in 5 minutes I said to myself, it will be Bart or it will be me. Yeah, and that's a strange feeling that I had, and at the end I was right.
4 million people rang the Dutch hotline, and it quickly became apparent that it was a two-horse race.
Well, I like Bart.
Yes, Ruud.
Bart.
Ruud was always farting. Bart, I think, because he was honest. He didn't gossip.
I voted Ruud because I didn't like Bart, at least.
Of course, I hoped Bart would win, and I thought, no, I'm not going to phone. I'm not going to do that. But of course, you have to.
The 100 days were over, and on the final day, with the clock ticking down, tension was mounting.
Thought about fleeing the house the night before over the roof, just making a way out of it. I was really sick and tired of it. It was so boring those last couple of days. And you're just sitting around, you've got nothing to do, you're nervous as hell, and you're just waiting for it to be over.
I was sitting here with Bart, and I felt his heart pounding in his body, and my heart was pounding, and it was very tough, you know, and it was not so easy to do that.
Daarop staat een naam. De winnaar van Big Brother is geworden Bart.
I should have won, you know. I would like have won. It was very tough to be second.
Bart may have won the game, but since the end of Big Brother, he's tried to avoid the limelight. Ruud, on the other hand, has embraced his newfound fame, leaving his life as a freelance masseur behind.
Everybody wants me in Holland. Every broader corporation, newspaper, television program, they always want to talk with me about my experience with Big Brother. And the last few weeks, it's very tough.
Since Big Brother, Ruud hardly knows if he's coming or going. He's in such demand to appear on television and at showbiz parties, and he's even released a record.
In the case of this program, we're going to see the minutiae of all their exchanges. All human life will be there for us to observe.
I wouldn't let anybody look into my life like that, I'm afraid. But I'm dying to get a look at the people who do. And good luck to you.
There'll be a reminder of how to get involved with the British version of Big Brother tomorrow in T4 at 12:40.
Everybody should do it, because your life is changing in a very positive way, and you carry it your whole life with you.
If you're rude, or you want to make fights, or forget it.
Try to have as much fun as you can.
If you're doing, enjoy yourself, because it's great to be 100 days without any worries.
My advice is, do it.